I put makeup on just for this date, so it better go well. And I'm not posting this, probably, if it doesn't. It did not go well. Truthfully, it lasted less than 2 minutes. I walked up, he gave me a hug and said, "Are you hungry? Let's go inside." We went inside. He said, "Actually, can you step outside for a minute?" I stepped back outside, and he said, "I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm just not feeling it." So I walked to my car and came back home. Dating when you're fat sucks.
Plenty of people curate an image and hope reality doesn't get questioned. When interest fades quickly, it's not cruelty, it's clarity. Walking away early is simply choosing honesty over performance. Is it uncomfortable? Maybe. But it's far cleaner than investing time in something that started with misalignment. No drama, no explanations, no drawn-out disappointment. Just a quiet decision and forward motion.
Comply or goodbye. That's how it goes. Now, if you want to take my advice and listen to me, cool. If you don't, fine. You'll stay single for a couple more years.
I know it sounds harsh, but what he's saying is most women never tell you this in person. They'll be like, you know what?
Nah, bro.
You're amazing. I love you. Da da da.
And that
lie.
attitude, that attitude of I'm not gonna change or I don't care what men want, I only want what I want. You're cooked, bro. You're never gonna get a guy
Okay,
to
but
take
I
you
never
seriously.
said that I wasn't gonna change, and we had this conversation earlier. I just said in this moment that right now I'm doing me, straight up, and that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying you asked.
That's not gonna work. That's not
Why are
going to
you
work.
getting so angry right
I
now?
am doing me is stupid.
Why are you getting so like whatever?
I'm not mad. I'm just
You're
telling
just
you.
getting super aggressive. Like
No,
if my man
because-
wants me to do something different, then I'm gonna do something different. Like I don't know why you're
you
saying
ain't
that
gonna
I'm not.
get him. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I am not worried about that. Like I'm genuinely not. I get asked on like a daily, weekly basis if I want to be someone's wife.
At some point, men stop engaging where respect is optional. When effort is met with dismissal, withdrawal isn't anger, it's clarity. Carrying that same attitude forward doesn't lead to empowerment. It leads to isolation mistaken for strength. Independence without accountability becomes emptiness over time. And once men choose peace, they rarely return to environments that made distance necessary.
As a woman, you need to learn how to flip the script and make everything that man's fault. Even, it don't matter.
I see dozens of videos like this every single day. Explain to me again the benefit to a man to being in a relationship with a woman, because there isn't.
Self-focus gets praised like growth, but without accountability, it turns into indifference. When personal desires outweigh any consideration for partnership, it stops being empowerment and starts becoming isolation. Ignoring what men value isn't strength, it's short-sighted. Good men don't leave out of fear or insecurity. They leave because there's nothing to build with. And when that happens, the silence that follows isn't punishment, it's clarity.
You can be in love and be really unhappy. Having a relationship that's causing you constant anxiety, constant heartache, constant pain, feeling overlooked, not feeling important. You can be in love and all of those things still be true. How crazy is that?
If the pain were truly deep, it wouldn't need an audience. Real heartbreak moves quietly, away from cameras and validation. What's being filmed isn't healing, it's display. Those emotional TikToks aren't about recovery, they're about attention. Genuine emotion doesn't announce itself for likes or sympathy. It gets processed in silence, not packaged for applause.
It is very hard to communicate facts without your interpretation of them or how people feel. I'm saying men will walk away, and men will walk away for 2 reasons. Number 1 reason, the quality of wives is too low. The women are too overweight. Not all. The women are too overweight. The women are too slutty. And the women, there's just not enough quality wives. You know, Aaron Clary broke down the numbers that Michael Knowles, he was kind of disputing them in our debate. But Aaron Clary did a whole video you can look up on his channel. It's from the Book of Numbers, going through how they got the 5% of women are marriageable stat.
Mockery gets normalized when it's aimed in one direction. Men get ridiculed for height daily, and it's brushed off as humor, while similar preferences from men are framed as moral failures. One side is applauded as confidence, the other condemned as cruelty. The reality is simple. Preferences exist on both sides, but only men are expected to apologize for theirs. That double standard is wearing thin. More men aren't angry. They're opting out of games that shame them for existing. Quietly, they're choosing distance, self-respect, and peace instead of playing along.
All right, I'm going to say it. Some of y'all aren't going to like it. Doesn't make it any less true. Here we go. A lot of really good men are leaving marriages. Why is that? Is it because they fell out of love, or is it something else? A lot of what we're seeing now is men leaving marriages, not because they've fallen out of love, but because they feel unappreciated within that marriage. Now, these guys, they work all day, they provide, they make sure you're safe, they make sure you're taken care of. What do they get in return? A lot of them are getting criticism for what they didn't do, as opposed to the thankfulness for what they do. Men are not like women. They don't need a big show of affection. They don't need a parade. They don't need constant gifts. But what they do need is appreciation, gratitude, respect. What they want to hear is that the person they're working so hard for, or the family that they're working so hard for, to say, we appreciate all that hard work you're putting in. We see you. When a man feels unappreciated at home, doesn't matter how much he loves you, at a certain point, he can't keep continuing to pour from an empty cup. He's going to stop trying to pour into a cup that's continually empty. He's also going to stop pouring into a cup that constantly is looked at as half full.
Men didn't disengage because they lost the ability to care. They stepped back after realizing their effort was expected, not valued. When appreciation disappears, so does motivation. Being generous without respect eventually feels pointless. So men recalibrate quietly. They redirect energy toward peace, purpose, and self-respect. When that shift happens, it isn't dramatic, it's final. Respect fades long before affection, and once it's gone, there's nothing left to negotiate.
It's hard to have your shit together. It's hard to be kicking ass in this fucking complicated, bizarre world that we live in. This is why women are so picky. When you see that 80% of the women are attracted to 20% of the men.
Modern life doesn't attack men loudly. It does it quietly, through expectations that never stop rising. You're expected to be disciplined, successful, fit, and emotionally steady. Yet the moment you fall short, attention disappears. Visibility isn't tied to character anymore. It's tied to perceived status. The 80-20 dynamic isn't a theory, it's a filter. Most attention flows upward, not toward consistency or effort. Good men aren't ignored because they lack value, but because value without spectacle doesn't register. That realization doesn't create bitterness, it creates detachment. And detachment is where clarity, peace, and leverage begin.
The top 20% is doing 80% of the sales, making 80% of the money, getting 80% of the business. If you extrapolate that as far as social dynamics and men and women, the top 20% of men are getting 80% of the box. Okay? That's just kind of how it works. So if you strive for greatness and you become the top 20%, the top G, mate, you're going to get 80% of the women. That's just kind of how it is.
Absolutely.
And that's the beauty of capitalism. And not to get all economic here, is that in socialism, everyone's equal. This whole equality thing, we're all equal. But that means there's no greatness and there's no below average. Everyone's fucking normal.
Absolutely.
The problem with that is, if everyone's normal and we're all having a good time, who's cleaning up for after the party?
Outcomes aren't evenly distributed, and they never have been. In money, business, and dating, a small percentage quietly secures the best opportunities while the rest compete loudly for leftovers. That isn't unfair, it's reality. The difference is that the top doesn't chase or complain, they position. Once you understand that, you stop fighting for scraps and start moving with intention. If the message hit, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.